Hey guys, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be moving nice and slow. So grab as many props as you think might help you. But we're going to take our time on our mat to get from one place to the next place, focusing on transitioning, but also giving ourselves some time in these poses to let our bodies open up and receive all the benefits we can get out of some of these postures. Circles are going to be a huge part of this practice. These circular motions that, open up the joint, but are also pretty natural for the body. So grab your props. A stack of books might be really helpful, or pillows today. It's a gentler practice, but you do have opportunity for to bring some power into it if you choose. Again, your practice, your choice. I'm just here to give you some cues and maybe a little bit of direction as you move on your mat. So stack of books or pillows will work just fine. A scarf or any sort of strap that you can use to extend your reach. And we're going to just start in a comfortable seat. I'm going to move over into a cross-legged position, but you do whatever feels good for you. And we're just going to start again with these circles. So working into the back and the hips. Close your eyes and start to circle the body to the right. So bringing the chest towards the right knee, down around in front of the legs, over to the left, and then tuck the chin into the chest as you round back. And these circles can be as large or as small as you would like. They can be as dramatic or as timid as you would like. You can bring the arms into it and really make huge circles. Or you can keep the hands down and just roll the shoulders around as you move. Notice what your body needs today. Start to feel into the low back, the hips. Just a few more in this direction. And slowly make those circles a little bit smaller. Spiral your way back up to center. And then come all the way up to a seated position. Reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Finding length with these spirals. So just like you were unscrewing a screw, think of your spine with every circle growing longer and reaching closer up towards the ceiling. Bring that right hand over toward the left knee. Left hand comes behind you. Rotate to the right and twist. Your inhale lengthens the chest and the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Your exhale rotates. Two more deep breaths. And then inhale, come back to center. If the legs are crossed, go ahead and switch the cross of the legs. And we'll start to make circles in the other direction. So bringing the chest around towards the left knee, circling it down towards the floor, over towards the right, and then rounding back. And you might already start to notice a difference from this side of the body to the previous. Give yourself permission to fall into those differences, so not trying to avoid them, but using this space to tend to those differences, modifying as you need for each unique side of your body. And again, the arms and shoulders can do whatever feels good to you. My back is pretty tight today, so I'm going to be taking it a little bit easier. But if you want to bring the arms up and around, do what feels good to you. Just a couple more rounds in this direction. Last round. And then start to slowly make those circles a little bit bigger, like a corkscrew, spiraling your way up to seated. Lengthening the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, inhaling, finding length. And as you exhale, left hand to the right knee, right hand comes behind you and you twist. Deep breath in to lengthen. Exhale to twist. One more deep breath in. And exhale, slowly come back to center. So from here, we'll just make our way over our knees into our child's pose. So your knees can be close together, or you can bring your knees wide to the edges of the mat. Sit your hips back towards the heels. Reach the arms forward, but let the elbows bend. Relax the chest down to the floor. And then inhale, lift the chest and the elbows slightly, just enough so you can take that right arm, bring it through the left side of the body, coming onto that right shoulder, and then release back down. And I like to use that left hand to press the floor away, deepens the twist. Gets a little deeper into the right side of my low back. And inhale, press into the left hand. Start to come back up. Walk the hands over toward that left side of your mat. Reach the right fingertips away from the hip. And then release back down. So getting a little bit deeper into the right side body. And again, I like to use my left hand to press the floor away. Use the breath to expand through that right side body. And slowly walk the hands back to center. So from here, pull forward onto hands and knees. Keep that left knee underneath the left hip and the left wrist underneath the shoulder. Your right leg extends to the back of your mat. Come to the inside edge of that right foot. Lift the right arm up towards the ceiling and then overhead towards the front of the mat, stretching out through that right side body. Inhale, use the strength in your core, come all the way up to center. You're going to bring the hands around to frame that right foot. So your left toes will turn towards the, now front of your mat. Right toes pull back towards the chest. Heart pulls forward, fold over that right leg. And start to bend into that right knee. And you'll make your way back to your child's pose. So if facing the wrong way on your mat is really distressing for you, either challenge yourself today or feel free to switch around. We'll get back to the front eventually. Lower the chest down to the mat. And then take that left arm, bring it underneath the right side of the body onto the shoulder. And again, you can use that right arm to press the floor away. So deepen that stretch in the right side of the low back. One more deep breath in. And then press into that right hand. Bring the left arm up and you'll walk everything over toward the right side of your mat. Reaching the left fingertips away from you and then releasing down. And again, option to use that right hand, pressing the ground away, deepening that side body stretch. Sending your breath into the left side of the body, expanding through the rib cage. One more deep breath in. And then start to walk the hands back to center. You'll pull forward onto hands and knees. Once again, that right knee stays under the hip, the toes turn slightly to the left. Roll onto that right knee, extend the left leg back behind you, come to the inside edge, and then reach that left arm up and overhead. Use the strength of your core. Come all the way up to center. Hands come around to frame that left foot. You'll pull the hips back, straighten that left leg, pull the chest forward towards the foot and fold. Inhale, then back into the left knee. You'll bring that left knee back to meet the right. And then from here, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Find your first downward facing dog. So take just a moment here. If the back of the body is still pretty tight, don't worry about the feet. Let the heels be far from the ground. Just let the body settle here. Give yourself some time. And then on your next inhale, come up onto the toes. Start to curl the back up towards the ceiling. Ripple yourself forward into your plank pose. And then bend the knees. Push the hips back towards the heels, lifting back up to your downward facing dog. So just a few more like that at your own pace, rippling the body forward and then pressing back. Two more rounds. And then come into your downward facing dog. Lift that right leg up to the sky. Bend the right knee. Bring the right heel towards the left hip. And then come up onto the fingertips of that right hand. Roll the chest open towards the left. Really stretching through that right side body. Another deep breath in. And then exhale, step that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Lower the left knee down to the mat. And so here, really sinking into the hips, you'll take those right toes, turn them about a 45-degree angle, and roll to the outside edge of that right foot. But keep a strong ankle here. You want the ankle straight and strong, not sickling like this. That's really dangerous for the body. So straight ankle, but your knee can open out over to the right side of the mat. You can stay here, or if you have more to go, you can come down to the elbows. I'm going to grab my pillow here, bring it under my knee. Feel free to do the same. We're going to be here for quite a few breaths. And then relax the head, shoulders, and neck. Option to stay here, or if you have more to go, bend that left knee, reach around for the left foot, and then drop the hips back down. slowly release the foot if you're holding on. You're going to bring the hands back down to the inside of that right foot. Bring those right toes so that once again they're facing forward. Tuck the toes of the left foot, lift the left knee, and then plant the heel of the left foot. So this left foot steps in slightly, toes point at a 45-degree angle. Bend into that right knee. And then bring the hands to frame that right foot. Keep pulling the chest forward here. Press the left heel away from you. Feel that stretch through the back of the left leg, the outside of the ankle. And then start to shift the weight into that right foot. Lift the left leg up, standing split. Bring the fingertips out in front of you. Feel free to use a block here. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to bend that left knee. Bring the knee around to tap the outside of that right ankle. Inhale, open back up. Swing that left leg out to the left. Inhale, and then exhale, bend and sink back down, knee to the outside of the ankle. Open back up, kick the left leg out. And then bend, sink down low. This time you'll sit all the way down. So, you have the right foot crossing over the left. Both sits bones are down onto the mat. If as you're here, right, if this hip is coming up off the mat, go ahead and straighten the left leg. It's more important to keep both hips grounded than to go to this deeper twist by keeping the left ankle by the right hip. Hold on to the right knee with the left arm and then rotate around to the right. So right hand comes behind you for length. Don't lean into the arm, but use it to lengthen the spine. Rotate. One more deep breath in. Inhale, come back to center. So you'll bring that right foot back down to the mat. About the center of the mat will be fine. Hands come around to frame that right foot. Shift the weight into the right foot, lift the hips. Unravel. Left leg is straight behind you. Open the hip up, left toes turn towards the left side of the mat. Bend into the right knee and step the left foot all the way back. From here, bring the hands around in front, so like about a 45-degree angle from the hips. And then you'll release down. So think from the hips to the shoulders and fingertips, you're in downward facing dog, while your feet maintain this warrior two. If this is too much for you, the left knee comes down, left toes turn towards the right side of the mat, and you can be here. Okay. Again, listening to our body, setting ourselves up so that we can work into these deep crevices. One more deep breath in. Inhale, walk your hands towards the center of the mat. Straighten that right leg. Bring the right toes to parallel the left. You might even pigeon toe the feet slightly and then fold forward between straight legs. Let the head hang heavy. And then inhale, lift up halfway, press into the feet. Use the strength of your core, come all the way up to stand. You'll turn those right toes forward towards the front of the mat. Reach the left hip back behind you, reach the right arm forward, and then release the right hand down to your shin, the floor, or a block. Left arm reaches up, and then if you have the flexibility, you're going to bend the elbow and reach around for maybe the hip crease, or just you can put your hand in the back of the yoga pants if you'd like. And then look down at the floor. So you should feel this a little bit in the left shoulder and the neck. Keep breathing. Feeling both legs open up. The inside and back of the right leg and the outside of that left leg, all working, creating space. Start to bend into the right knee just enough so that both hands can come to frame that right foot. Come onto the toes of the left foot. Walk that right foot over to the left. Lower down the knee and the hip. Again, you can use blocks or a pillow here to support you. Settle down into that right hip. And then fold forward. Relaxing your shoulders and your jaw. And slowly walk the hands in towards the body, come up to seated. So from here, go ahead and bend that left knee in towards the body. Roll over onto the right hip. And you're going to make your way onto the back with the right knee into the chest. Reach for your strap or your scarf. Place it around the ball of that right foot. Extend the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. The strap comes over into the left hand, right arm out in line with the shoulder. Cross that right leg over to the left. on your next inhale, bring that right leg up to center. Remove the strap, bend the right knee into the chest. Bring the hands underneath the knee, pull yourself up to seated. Cross the ankles, roll over onto hands and knees. And make your way back to your downward facing dog. So take a few moments here, pedal out the feet. It might even feel good to make some hip circles with that right leg. We did a lot on the right side. And then bring both feet down if one of them's lifted. As you inhale, you'll come up onto the toes and once again ripple yourself forward towards a plank. And then exhale, bend the knees, press the hips back, downward facing dog. A few more times like that. Flushing out that last sequence. Preparing to move over to the left side. And then come into some stillness here. Inhale, reach that left leg up. Bend the left knee, open the hip up. And then come onto the fingertips of the left hand, really rolling the chest over towards the left side. One more deep breath in. And then exhale and bring the left foot forward towards the outside of the left hand. You'll lower that right knee down to the mat. Again, I'm going to use my pillow here. You have an idea of how long we're here, so set yourself up for success here. You'll come on to the heel of that left foot, turn the toes slightly to the left. Come onto the blade edge of the foot. Again, strong ankle, no sickling in the ankle. And when you're ready, if you have more to go, you can bring the left arm down and then the right. Relaxing the head, neck, and shoulders. If you have more to go, you can start to bend that right knee, bringing that left hand around towards the right foot. One more deep breath in. Exhale, slowly release both hands, come back down to the mat. You'll tuck the toes of that right foot. Lift the right knee up. And then step the right foot in just enough so that you can plant the right heel, toes at a 45-degree angle. So warrior one feet here. You're going to stay with the hands on the mat, pulling the chest forward away from that right heel as you press the right heel behind you. Back is long and straight. Shoulders out of the ears. And both hips pulling towards the front of the mat. And then start to shift the weight into that left leg. You'll lift the right leg straight up behind you. So standing split here. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, bend that right knee. Bring the right knee to tap the outside of the left ankle. Inhale, open up and kick that right leg out to the right. And then back behind you, knee taps the outside of the ankle. Open up, kick out. Last time, back behind you, tap behind the ankle, and this time sit all the way down. So again, more important than both knees being bent here is to find both hips firmly planted on the floor. So if you need to extend that right leg, extend the right leg. Sit up nice and tall, bring the right arm to grasp the left knee into the chest. Left hand comes behind you and you'll twist to the left. Remembering that corkscrew, that spiraling motion, so lengthening and then twisting. Lengthening and twisting. And then inhale, bring yourself back to center. You'll bring those left toes to face forward towards the middle of the mat. Hands come out in front of you. Lift the hips up. Lift the right leg up. Open the hip up so right toes turn towards the right side of the mat. Bend into the left knee. Step the feet back. So warrior 2 feet here. Again, option to lower that right knee down. Or you'll start to walk your hands at a 45-degree angle from your hips. Release the chest down. So again, finding that down dog back here with warrior 2 feet. Keep that left knee pressing towards the left side of your mat. Two more breaths. As you inhale, walk the hands back towards the center of the long edge of your mat. Both feet come to parallel. Pull the chest forward, and this time you'll bring your hands to clasp at the base of the spine. Pull that clasp away from you. Reach the fists down towards the ground as you fold. On your next inhale, come all the way up to center, lifting the chest up. So you'll bring that right foot parallel to the back side of the mat. Left toes point towards the front, right hip sends back as your left arm reaches forward and then down to your ankle or your shin. With that right arm, bend the elbow, reach around for the back of your shirt or maybe into your hip crease. And then look down, feel that stretch in the neck and shoulder. As you roll that right shoulder back, and then turn the head away. Two more breaths. Start to bend into that left knee as you unwind that right arm. Both hands come down to the mat. Come onto the toes of that right foot. Your left foot will come over towards the right side of the mat. Lower down the knee and the hip. Again, any props that you might need under that left hip, go ahead and find those now. And then when you're ready, fold forward over that left leg. On your next inhale, start to make your way back up to seated. You'll roll over onto that left hip. And again, make your way all the way onto your back, left knee into the chest. You'll take your strap, place it around the ball of that left foot. Left leg extends straight up towards the ceiling. Strap comes into the right hand. Cross that left knee over to the left foot over to the right. Relax your grip on your strap, relax your jaw. Bend into that left knee, slowly start to make your way back to center. Once again, bring the hand behind the left knee, rock yourself up to seated. And go ahead and grab your block or your stack of books. We did a lot today of folding inward. And because we spend so much time seated in our normal daily lives, I just want to balance that out by opening up through the front of the body just a little bit more before we close. So grab your stack of books or your block or whatever you have handy. Maybe some pillows would be nice today. It's not about the depth of this stretch, really. It's more just about opening up through the front of the body. So any sort of height on this prop is totally fine. Roll down onto your back. Your ankles are underneath your knees, and you'll lift the hips up, placing your prop of choice underneath the hips. Right, and so you don't want to feel any pressure in the low back here. You want this to just feel pretty restorative, opening up through the hip flexors. Maybe even you'll feel it in the lower abdominals, depending on how tight you are. And then you can bring the arms by your sides. I like to reach overhead and grasp opposite elbows. It gets into my shoulders a little bit. And you can stay here with the knees bent, or you can extend the legs out long. Your practice, your choice. letting the full weight of your hips drop into the block. Remembering those wave-like motions we made in our practice, and imagine your breath rippling just like that across your body. And start to bend the knees, bring the feet back down to the floor. Release the elbows. Firmly press into the feet, lift the hips off the block. Remove the block. Lower your hips back down. It might feel good just to give yourself one last squeeze, rocking from side to side. When you're ready, extend the feet to the edges of the mat. Arms come down by the sides. Continuing to sink into the body, the experience of your body even here. As you let go of the room around you, as you let go of your practice and the results of your practice. And give yourself permission to take rest. I invite you to stay here for about 10 more minutes if you have the time. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your practice. And in everything you do the rest of the day and the rest of the week, be loud, be expressive, and be yourself. Namaste.